Let me know where you're watching from. Hey, Atlanta. I plan on being in Atlanta a little soon. Come on in, come on in. For those who don't know who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette, and I am a mentor to women of wealth and influence. And what I do specifically is I support amazing, high caliber women in doing the important work. Okay, and when I say the important work, I support my high performing clients in regulating their emotions and restoring their power so that they can lead, they can earn, and they can attract from energetic alignment. A lot of women today who have are sitting in spaces where they have made a whole lot of money, or sitting in spaces where they're the cycle breakers and they're this and they're that. A lot of those women have achieved that path in a way that goes against their feminine design. There is such a thing as a misaligned way to monetize your lifestyle. And what I mean by that is like anything that you have to basically become sick to do or to continue to stay in is something that you need to question, because the things that are in alignment with you are not going to make you ill. The things that are in alignment with you are not going to exhaust you to the point to where you can't do the things that you need to do. That's not the way. That's not the way it's going to go. Okay. So we're going to talk specifically today about, if you have a business, why people may not necessarily be buying into your business. But we're going to get straight in to a lot of heavy hitters. So this conversation, let me just say this right now, is not for beginners. This conversation is not for browsers. This conversation is not for women that still need to be convinced, okay, that their work is worthy of the investment. This is not for them. This is for spiritually mature women whose brilliance is literally unmatched. This is for those whose sales are inconsistent, though. Okay? If you've ever felt the ache of almost being paid the amount of money that you feel like you were supposed to be being paid but never really secured it, this is going to regulate your field in real time. So I want you to stay with me. Okay? So like I said, the title of today's live is She's interested, but she's not invested. And we're going to talk about why. We're going to get into why and how you can fix that. So send this to another amazing woman who is in business. Because let me tell you something, if you have a business right now, let me just go ahead and give it to you straight. There is no such thing as, oh, I'm giving up my business so I can go back to work a 9 to 5. You may as well cancel all of that, okay? Because by 2027, it basically states in a lot of research that a lot of people, okay, are going to be forced into entrepreneurship by 2027. What skill set do you have? Okay, that's the first thing. What skill set do you have that doesn't require to take up all of your time, your energy, and your attention? What aspects of AI have you mastered, okay, to be able to really conserve your energy and really be able to multiply and amplify what you have going on? These are the things that you really need to be paying attention to, because it's extremely important. Okay. This is not playtime. By 2030, it says that 9 to 5s are going to be non-existent. So if you thought you was going to quit your business and go find you a job, hang it up. Because unless you are performing better than AI at a particular job, a lot of spaces and places, they are literally, and I do mean literally, they're replacing people with AI. And they're doing it slowly but surely. So what I'm telling you is by 2027, ain't no 9 to 5s. So your business is your plan. Okay? And if you've made some money in business, but not the type of money you want to make in business, then we need to revise that, because you need to be making more money in your business, point blank, period. The end. Okay? So what we're going to talk about specifically is, having people who are interested in your content or interested in your work, and saying how much they love you and all of these different type of things, but they're not really investing in you. They're not really like coming forth and really paying you. We're going to talk about why that's happening. And it's a very simple fix. I didn't say it was easy, but I have a very simplified process to be able to support you in being able to do that. And a lot of times when you think about certain things, something as simple as people who want to eat healthier, right? Meal prepping is a better idea, and it's a really good investment for people like that who really don't really want to cook, people who are on the go, and people who don't feel like they have time to sit there and do all these different type of things to prepare their meals, right? So when you have meal prep, it makes it easier. You're not worrying about what you have to eat. You don't have to worry about anything because you have something structured out. That is how business is. That is how it is for a lot of us. We just need things to be structured out so we can follow the path. What I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to support you in that, because you're going to find, especially if you have a lot of wisdom, you've been through a lot of different things, you have a variety of knowledge and experiences and expertise in different areas, you're going to have a multitude of people who are going to constantly be coming your way, constantly always wanting to talk to you, constantly wanting this from you. And in the beginning of that, you're going to feel good about it. You're going to feel cool that people want to come to you and talk to you. You're going to feel, real awesome about it. But then it's going to get to a point where it starts becoming draining. Then it's going to get to a point to where, let's say you decide to go into business, you start doing this for business, and you start realizing that people don't want to pay you, but they still want to drain you. Okay. There are some things that are happening underneath the scene that you need to pay attention to, so we can put these things in place so you can really start getting paid. All right. If you live in the States, you already know, in order for you to hit tax breaks and different things like that, you need to be making at least $385,000 in your business. And like I told y'all, if y'all not ready to prepare yourself to make that type of money in business, close it. Because you need to be able to thrive, okay? And it's a way for you to be able to do it, but you have to start doing things differently. And I'm going to support you by showing you the things that you've been doing currently that have been blocking you, that have not been positioning you to be paid well. Because a lot of you are walking around with a multitude of things on the inside of you that people pay other people millions of dollars for. Let me tell y'all something, and I'm being so for real with y'all. I done sat in rooms with folks who make more money than me, right? Everybody knows I built a 6-figure plus business from the ground up without hustling. I have sat in rooms with people who make more money than me. Y'all, they not smarter than y'all. They don't even be smart a lot of the time. And I'm trying to tell you, they don't even be smart a lot of the time. Seriously. They literally will be like, oh, I closed this deal. Yeah, I made $20,000 last week. Do you think that I should go and get this? And it could be some of the most basic, something that they should have got a long time ago. But yet they just closed a $20,000 deal. I am telling you there is money out here. There's a lot of money residing in places. And if you're not seeing any, or your business feels stagnant right now, this is going to support you in really coming out of that, because there's a lot of money out here that's being made. Okay, people are still being flown out for speaking engagements. Somebody emailed the other day, asked me what my budget was. So I'm telling you that it is out here, but I need you to get focused. You'll have a lot of people interested in you. You have a lot of people who, see you and have all these things, but you need them to be invested. We are only looking for people who have investor mindsets. You need to let go of the people who ain't got it. Stop trying to save people. That's the first thing y'all need to do. Take the savior coat off your back. Hey, my love, thank you for these likes and these gifts. Take your savior coat off your back. If you went into business to save people, close the business down. Because I'm about to hurt y'all feelings, but I'm going to tell you the truth. The hospital ain't even there to save you. Because if we want to be honest, let you come in there without the proper insurance. That's going to give them the amount of days that they need for your body to be in that hospital so they can get paid for you being in that bed. Let them figure out that they can only hold you for 2 days and they got somebody else that they can hold for 7. And see who they're going to hold no matter what's going on with you. So if you went into business to save people, the only one you can save is yourself. Now, if you went into business to create impact and to change lives, that's very possible. But I am telling you, hospitals ain't even built to save you, sweetie. So get the coat off your back now. You need to make money, especially if you've committed to living here or living in the States. If that is, you need to make money. And your first minimum goal needs to be, I need to make at minimum $385,000 because I need them tax breaks. I'm not finna be complaining about why I don't have no money. I'm finna get it because I have gifts. And like I said, I've sat in rooms with people who have so much money. They're not smarter than you. They just ain't scary like you. They don't believe the lies that you believe. They have no ceilings. So like I said, today we're going to get into why people are so interested in what you have going on or interested in your business, but why they're not invested. So I'm going to break it down in a couple of different sections. Okay, so send this to another amazing woman who is in business. Last week I told you guys that I was doing these sessions where feminine sales sessions where I'm supporting women. Y'all have been snatching those up. I still have some left, but I'll talk about those towards the end. Those are 150. I'm only doing 25 of those, and baby, y'all been eating me up. Y'all have been eating me up, and I'll talk more about what that's gonna look like. But I am so excited about that because I need 25 new people to come back and let me know how they got their first 15 and 20K. I don't want to hear nothing else. That's the type of time I'm on. So that's why the price point is 150. Because really, I want case studies. I want testimonials. I want life's change. You know what I'm saying? A one-on-one with me on a regular is $9.97. But I'm doing this strategically because I want new women to come into the space who are ready. Women who understand that they're in business, but they want to do business in a way to where it secures them. It allows them to be in their feminine. So they're not out here being like, oh, I need a man to put me in my feminine. They're out here creating structure and stability for themselves, which puts them in different rooms where they attract different type of men. See, a lot of you limit yourself to your surroundings, and that's your problem. Let me tell you something. You will only go as high as your thoughts, and you will only expand as wide as your circle. Okay? So if you want better, you're going to have to position yourself and get some money, get more money. And if you want more money, then you need to position yourself because you have creative and witty inventions in your very being. Why are you not acting like it? Okay? For those who are joining for the first time, again, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a mentor to women of wealth and influence. And what I do specifically is I help high-performing women regulate their emotions. We do the important work. Okay, we help them restore their power so that they can lead, earn, and attract from energetic alignment. A lot of women have attracted things from misalignment and wonder why they're sick. I had a trigger warning post on my Facebook page talking about how one of my clients explained that the majority of the women who were at her company that were in higher management, they all had womb issues, and 4 of them had to get hysterectomies. See, I don't think we really understand that the feminine body, the feminine design, was literally created to receive, transmute, and give birth. And that's not just to babies. But see, when we suppress by working in systems that don't support us, they begin to develop womb issues. And I'm not telling you something I'm new to. I'm telling you something I'm true to, something I have healed myself from. I had a 21-year issue with an irregular cycle. Hi, loving. I have helped women heal hormonal acne due to the irregularities of their cycles that nobody could help them with. So I'm not telling you something I'm new to. I'm telling you something I'm true to. You can still earn in a way that is in energetic alignment with you, that you don't have to give up your body to perform. Because a lot of women who sit at the top in these spaces, they are performing, they are code switching. They are not being themselves. They are exhausted. They are being everyone's person. They are denying self, but allowing and accepting everyone else and wondering why it is showing up in the form of womb issues or autoimmune disease. One of my modalities is that I am an energetic psychology practitioner as well, so I can tell you what emotions do to you on a cellular level. And it is the same information and understanding by being rooted in scripture, understanding the science of myself and the psychology of my lineage that I healed from things like polycystic ovarian syndrome. When they diagnosed me when it 2025, 21 years ago, when nobody was talking about it. In 2004, I was 20 years old and I was sitting in their doctor's office, and that's what they were telling me I had. Okay? And I'm telling you, through becoming rooted spiritually into the Most High, okay, in scripture, and that's what I always tell women all the time, 3 things you need to thrive on this earth is you need to be spiritually rooted, understanding spiritual law. You need to understand the science of yourself so you start working against your body instead of listening to society, because society wants you to be sick, which is why they told you to hustle. To hustle means to steal. It means to swindle. It steals your time, it steals your energy, and it steals your attention, and then eventually it breaks your body down. All because you are stressed. Stress is the core issue of that, is what you're asking. stress. Your emotions, which is energy in motion, impacts your organs. Okay? That's not a coincidence. And you can look that up. That's Chinese medicine. There are emotions that impact each one of your organs. And when you impact it so much, you throw the organ out of balance, which throws the entire body out of balance. You're not having a cycle for a reason, sweetheart. Coming from someone who had a 21-year issue with irregular cycles, want me to tell you what it really is? Your heart is either off, your spleen is either off, your kidneys are off, or your liver is off. One of them are off. That's why you're not having a cycle. There are emotions connected to each one of those. Worry to the spleen, anger to the liver. See, but society thrives on you being anxious and being all over the place because they understand if you are not rooted, you are not regulated, then you cannot rise up. And if you cannot rise up, you will not see revenue. And if you don't see revenue in this society, you will not be able to make different type of decisions and choices and have different type of results. Because the reality is if you got the bag, you can make more moves. And it's not hard to get the bag. It's not hard to consistently get the bag. Thank you, my love, for the support and the acknowledgement. Like, it's not hard to do that. But sustaining it is the difficult part because people don't know how to die to self. People don't know how to deal with self. People don't want to face self. And when you don't want to face self and you don't want to do these things, you end up on trial, getting your reputation being ruined because when you don't deal with your demons, they will deal with you publicly on a public scale. Do you understand that the enemy works on a worldwide scale? Will let you rise up just to make sure you fall hard? Because when you fall hard, it's just you in that darkness. And you got some decisions to make. And I need women to really, really wake up. Playtime is over. If you're going to be partnering it up, it needs to make sense. You need to be in a space of strategic alignment, not your feelings. Because some of y'all are going to hurt yourselves. Okay? Some of you are going to hurt yourselves. Build the stability that you are seeking. Build the structure that you are seeking so that you can receive the support that you are seeking. Okay? When you are able to stand alone and stand on your own, that is when you find that people will come to support you. Because when you're willing to take those steps and move up, you will see that people are ready to meet you there. You just won't come up. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and for sharing. All right. So again, the title is She's Interested but Not Invested, and here's why. Like I said, this conversation is not for beginners. This conversation is not for browsers. This conversation is not for women who still need to be convinced that their work is worthy of the investment. This is not for you. This is for spiritually mature women whose brilliance is unmatched, but your sales are inconsistent. If you ever felt like or felt the ache of not being paid or almost being paid but never really secured, then this, like I said, is going to regulate your field in real time. So stay with me. I'm going to get into the core truth. I'm going to get into why your magnetism isn't converting as a woman. I'm going to talk to you about how you're the vessel but you're disconnected from the vessel, which is why your message is not getting you the vending that you truly desire. And then I'm going to get into what actually makes people buy from you. And then I'm going to talk about why your business is stagnant and how feminine sales is truly your solution. Because a lot of you are working against your design when in reality it's in your nature to attract. It's in your nature to attract. We as women, our nervous system is different from men. And this is why it talks about, even in scripture, about guarding your heart above everything else because from it flows life. Our nervous system is not linear, okay? It's cyclical. Okay, it's on a cycle. The hormones that we are producing, right, specifically oxytocin, that's bonding, estrogen, that's receptivity, progesterone, that is rest and softness. Okay, when one of those are out of whack, okay, it is also a representation of what is happening in our external world. That's kind of the fruit of it. I'm going to tell you something. When I was suffering with symptoms of polycystic ovarian, I believed at that time that I had lost my creativity. And I grew up I've been a poet since I was in 3rd grade. But when something happened And it's like I cut myself off. And I know what happened. And I felt like I wasn't creative anymore. I started growing hair. I literally started turning into a man. I'm not even kidding. But I was working so hard like a man. I was proving myself that I could do X, Y, Z. I was very achievement based. I was achievement focused, which is masculine. And see, we don't realize that your external reality, even this, is a representation of your internal reality. And my internal reality was telling me that I needed to prove myself valuable by continuing to do. Be the first one to graduate from school. You are the oldest daughter. Go get the master's. Okay, you start the business. Be the first one to hit 6 figures in your business. Do the one to do all of that. All of that pressure, all that pushing, all that performance made me sick. And it is doing it to a multitude of women all over the world. And it is interfering with you being able to be the influence that you are meant to be, so that you create the impact, and the impact is what drives in the income. But because there is something internal, there is a disconnect, influence is murky, impact is minimal, income is up and down. Okay? And I need you to be able to understand the correlation between that, because it's very, very important. So let's get into the core truth, okay? Interest, someone being interested in your product or your service does not equal currency. It does not mean that they're going to pay you. It does not mean that they're going to invest. This is why you'll hear me say all the time, I don't need an amen corner. I'm not here for that. Thank you, my love, for the follow. I'm not here for an amen corner. I'm here to be obedient. That's my position, right? So when we're talking about how interest does not equal currency, you know, these are the people, like, let's say you got a client, she's watching you, she's clapping, she's validating you. I'm talking about every time you go live, every time you post something, she right there in your comments saying something or doing XYZ, but she's not buying. She's not buying. And the reason is not your price, even though you keep trying to do this back and forth thing, okay? It's not your price. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. It's not your niche. It's not your post frequency. You don't need to see. All these are performance measures. Ha ha ha. See, y'all don't even realize y'all went from one performance game to another performance game. Y'all stop performing for 9 to 5 and you start performing for the algorithm. Dun 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 dun. Who told you to do that? You sit on an app where you see trends are created every single day, but yet you come and submit to an algorithm. So you try to outperform it. Again, you still in performance mode. That's not attraction. That's not magnetism. That's not where the money resides, sweetheart. Every time I've ever gone viral on this app, it's only been due to my obedience. Things, talking about things I didn't want to talk about. Telling God, yeah, I don't really want to talk about that. I don't feel like that is really, you know, maybe I shouldn't. And so I just be like, okay. But see, that okay scared me, so I just go ahead and do what I need to do. And every single time it goes viral. What is the algorithm to the Almighty? The Almighty is the ultimate algorithm and created the universe, which isn't technically the biggest algorithm that we have access to. Thank you, my love, for these follows. It does nothing but respond. It does nothing but respond. That's it. Okay? So it's not your performance. All this, you went from submitting to these systems to submitting to these algorithms, to these systems. You didn't come here to do that. You didn't come here to do that. So it's not your niche. It's not your price. It's not your post frequency. It's your energy. That's the problem. Interest is not currency. Don't y'all know that? Let's look at it from a romantic perspective, because y'all know you love to talk about the man, so let's get into it. Just because he's interested in you, does that mean he finna give you his money? If we want to look at it from that, I mean, because what I teach you, you can use in life, in business, and in relationships, because how you do one thing is normally how you do all things, sweet loving. So, I'm just asking for a friend. Okay, because I ain't the friend, because I already know what time it is. But I'm just asking. I need you to see this. Just because he interested, does that mean he gonna give you his money? Okay, I don't even need the friend. All right, good deal. There is no amount of showing up that will convert Okay? Cracked power into sales. Did you hear what I said? There is no amount of showing up online, showing up to that man's house, showing up knocking on in people's DMs. There is none of that. All that showing up and performing and trying to prove your value, none of it is going to convert, because crack power can't be converted into sales. See, when you the realest one in the room, you don't need to say I'm the realest one in the room. Because the one that's always saying I'm the realest one in the room is normally not the realest one in the room. Because real simply recognizes real. So you don't need to convince. Who you trying to convince, me or you, sweetie? It's the same thing a lot of women do when you try to convince the man because you didn't went on a date with him and you really didn't got hot, and you trying to tell him that you're celibate. We're not doing this because I'm celibate. We're not doing this because I'm celibate. Oh, you trying to convince yourself, because the next 2 days he take you on and he don't touch you. But the third one, when you decide to let him come over and he try you, because that's what they do. And if you ever had a brother, you ever had a nephew, you ever had a son, you ever seen a little boy in action, when you tell them don't do something, what are they going to try and do? And when you let him do it, then he know you don't stick true to your word. That's what he know. That's what he know. Crack power is never going to turn into or be converted into secured sales or any form of security at all. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes and these comments. It's just not going to happen. Okay? They got to burn themselves at least one time. Let me tell you something. And let me tell you what I respect about men. I respect the fact that men have the mindset that I only miss 100% of the shots that I don't take, which is why the man at the gas station with no job who ain't took a bath in 6 days will walk confidently up to you in your Benz and ask you for your phone number, because they already know some of y'all self-esteem is in that car, because it ain't in your body, it ain't in your heart. See, a lot of your self-esteem in the car, in what you got on and how you look and what you could do, but it ain't in you. It ain't in you. The truth of who you are is always going to come out, and I need you to understand that. I need you to see that. People feel you. Y'all think y'all are great actors. Like, you're not though. You're not. Especially to people who can see. You're not. Especially to people you're talking about you want their money. You're not. You're not. Thank you, my love, for these gifts, these likes, and these comments. Like I said again, interest does not equal currency. We can be very interested in you, baby. It does not mean I'm going to give you my money. Same thing with these clients. Now let's talk about why your magnetism isn't converting. Let's talk about the truth behind that and what that really is looking for. Because let me tell you something. Being a feminine woman, naturally, your magnetism is like at 1,000. You end up turning down more things than you accept, because you understand the power of your presence, the importance and the truth behind your value. So you just don't expose yourself to being everything, and you don't give access to any and everyone, because you understand the power of your magnetism. You understand what I'm saying? When you know your very essence does something to people, you're very careful about the spaces that you allow yourself to be in. And that's just for real. So let's talk about why your magnetism isn't converting into sales, and why this person is interested but just not invested financially in whatever it is that you're selling. I mean, you're magnetic. You know that. At least you should know that. You got presence. Maybe you have some content that has landed. You're doing big things according to other people. But the results feel real random in real life. The sales feel extremely unpredictable. The things that they're saying online about business, about life, and about money, they got you real scared. Your energy is extremely tight. You're always pushing, but never receiving. Remember, I said estrogen is the hormone of receptivity. If you struggle to receive, you're going to have estrogen issues. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. My homegirl is a womb wellness specialist. And she made a post one time, and she was talking about how a particular womb issue really was a result of suppression of your feminine energy. And she was correct. She was correct. I want to tell you something. I want you to look up what is the root cause of like these things like breast cancer. Too much estrogen. An overload of estrogen. How do we get an overload of estrogen? How does that happen? And then if you pile on top of that your inability to manage your emotional responses and reactions, thank you for the likes and the gifts, and you don't know how to manage your emotions, so you eat them. So now, let's not talk about the false estrogen that you put on top of that exacerbates whatever you already got going on because you don't know how to manage your stress already. See, let's get into it. And you letting them people tell you that it's genetics. You letting them people tell you that diabetes is automatically for you it's genetic, when the reality is it's your lifestyle. Because Big Mama and this person been cooking the same way. She didn't know how to manage her emotions, so she ate them up. Your mama didn't know how to manage her emotions, so she ate them up. And you turn around, you don't know how to manage your emotions, so you eat them up too. And you eat them up, you spend money. Let me tell you something. Find me a woman who got issues with her money. I'm gonna find you a woman that got issues with her meals and men, because your meals, your money, and men are all connected, whether you realize it or not, because they all are rooted in your energy, emotion, your emotions, and your inability to control them. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. Your inability to control yourself. Oh, I can't help the way I feel. Yes, you can. The problem is you don't guard your gates. And because you don't guard your gates, what is in your mind is a seed. And that seed is allowed to become planted into your heart. And your behavior is the fruit. There's not a secret of the soul that the behavior is not going to reveal, sweetheart. There's not a secret of the soul that your behavior ain't going to reveal, which is why self-control is a fruit of the spirit. You can't control nothing but yourself. Trying to control everyone else. You're exhausted at almost having it. Almost being the one. All of these different things. Okay? That's why I say for you. Okay? Somewhere inside of you, you don't feel fully safe to receive, which is why you throw comments off or compliments off. Somebody compliments you. Oh, you look so pretty. You look so pretty, baby. You barely looked at her. You trying to be nice. You trying to be nice, which is why, and I say this all the time, there is no such thing as being nice. Being nice is a state. It is a state that shifts. Kindness is a heart posture. To be kind and to be nice is not the same thing. I have never seen a nice person that was not nasty. I have never seen a nice person that was not nasty. Because the minute the nice person does not get the response that they believe that they should get, the side of them shows up, and the first thing that they say, I was trying to be nice. No, in actuality, you were trying to get what you wanted, and when you didn't get what you wanted, you revealed who you truly are, because there is not a secret of the soul that the behavior isn't going to reveal. And you thought you can hide behind being nice. This is why you shouldn't be trying to be nice. Because if that's the first thing that comes to you, you were trying to be nice, you were being fake, you were being phony, you weren't being authentic. And guess what? Authenticity attracts. And whatever you attract under false pretenses, you can't sustain or keep, sweetie. So performing and pretending is crazy work. It's really, truly a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Your magnetism isn't converting because you don't feel safe enough to receive. You look so pretty today, girl. I don't even feel like I look good. All of these things. You are not comfortable to receive. And that is your number one issue. So if you're not comfortable to receive something as simple as compliments, if you're not comfortable to receive something as, payment for anything, because some people will even be like, well, here, you took me somewhere, let me give you some gas money. And even some people will be like, well, no, because you're trying to be nice. A person sees that you value your time, your energy, and your attention, and you have decided to spend your time, your energy, your attention, and some of your money into me, and I want to give back to you, and you won't receive it in the name of being nice. In the name of being nice. Oh, I don't need it. You don't need it till you don't have it next week. Then you need it. You wish you took it. When you position yourself to not receive, you suppress and you impact your estrogen levels, your cortisol levels, all of the things that could literally position you for better or for worse, all by your decision making, all by you not retraining your nervous system to position you to be able to receive. And let me tell you, let me put you on game. Women who struggle to receive intimacy, and a compliment is an intimate thing. Intimacy, that's across the board. Women normally struggle to receive intimacy, struggle with their income as well. Because if you struggle to receive intimacy, you'll struggle and feel awkward about receiving a large amount of money at one point in time. Some of us are so used to being paid or getting money every 2 weeks, you don't know what to do if somebody dropped your whole salary in your lap to do one job and you only have to show up one day. You wouldn't know what to do with that. That makes you nervous. That makes you uncomfortable. That makes you feel like you about to drop the ball. But that's because you don't feel safe. And you don't feel safe because you're not rooted in who you are. Because if you were rooted in who you are, you would understand that there is no loss in the kingdom. There is no lack in the kingdom. There is no failure in the kingdom. So if you continue to seek the kingdom in his righteousness and everything else will be added unto you, how can you mess this up? How can you drop the ball? How can you make a mistake? How can you lose? How can you fail? How can you do any of those things? How can you do any of those things? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But the reason why you're struggling to receive is because you're not rooted in that. Hey, lovey, you're not rooted in that. And that's why I tell women, if you want to thrive in this society as a woman, you need to understand spiritual law first, the science of yourself second, and the psychology of your lineage. This is going to support you in not creating trauma. If you want to stop building, stop creating generational trauma, you want to stop, then you have to make some hard decisions. And a lot of women don't like making decisions, which is why a lot of y'all looking for daddies. And it's not anything wrong with wanting to be with the masculine. That's a natural yearn. But you're looking for someone to tell you what to do because you are too lazy or too scared or too nervous or too something to step up and do it yourself. But you don't realize that when you get into the energy of doing that yourself, that's when everything else comes your way. That's when everything comes your way. Everything start looking for you. The minute you get in alignment, you start catching things. You start catching things. When is the last time you caught something instead of chased it? I'm just asking. When is the last time you truly allowed yourself to catch something instead of trying to chase it and look for it? People will call on you. All you have to be is yourself. I tell the story all the time about how one of my former clients, she talks about how I really supported her in unearthing her feminine essence and really tapping into her sensuality and tapping into her essence and tapping into understanding her position as a leader, to the point to where the people came looking for her and said, hey, we have a $40 million project and we want you to head it. Turned around and was giving her 5-figure bonuses every single year because she stepped up. Let me tell you something. The money and the men in the community, those things find you when you rise up. The problem is you're on the wrong level. See, a lot of y'all proudly say that, oh, I'm anxiously attached. I'm elevated attached. I'm anxiously attached. Be very careful about what you identify yourself as. Because when you say I am something, you make that your identity. And when you say that I am anxiously attached, that means I live on the frequency of fear. What is attractive about that? And you will continue to attract people who evoke anxiousness and create nightmares in your life because you won't rise up. And this is coming from somebody who used to be anxiously attached. So let's get into it. I was anxiously attached. See, I can tell you this. And I've supported a multitude of women of coming out of that. You understand what I'm saying? It's definitely fear and uncertainty rooted in what happened in the past that you ain't released, because the narrative that you are continuing to tell yourself, I want to ask you something, and this is for women who, and I had this conversation with someone else, and we were talking about a father leaving his daughter, right? And that was a story that she, we kept going over and over and over and over and over again. And I explained, and I asked her, I said, so is that the narrative that you're always going to speak when it comes down to that scenario? And she said, well, yes, that's the truth. I said, I'm looking at a woman who is self-sufficient. I'm looking at a woman who understands and who knows how to make decisions. I'm looking at a woman who knows how to make things happen. I'm looking at a woman who understands that people are going to leave your life, whether this is in life or in death. What I see is that your father leaving taught you how to be self-sufficient. Do you understand how difficult it is for women to be able to make decisions out here? Do you understand? So what narrative are you going to continue to tell yourself? Is it that the masculine always leaves you, or the masculine taught you to be self-sufficient and to be able to recognize real masculine when you see it? What narrative are you telling yourself? See, I used to be anxiously attached, so I understand. I get it. I understand abandonment. I get it. And if you've been on here before, you've heard me do my little mini song that I do to help me detach from the whole aspect of worrying about abandonment. But you have to understand that people are going to exit your life, whether you are living, okay, or they're going to exit in death. Nothing on this earth is permanent, sweetheart. Nothing. She said, some of us are exhausted from making decisions. Let me be really clear about this. You get exhausted from making decisions when you are making decisions in the areas that are not in alignment for you. You never get tired. You never get exhausted from making decisions when they are in the best interest and the benefit of self. You can never get tired of becoming the best version or evolving and becoming the most beautiful version of yourself. But you can get exhausted for making decisions for other people. You can get exhausted for always being there for other people and having to be the one all the time. You can get exhausted like that by being in places trying to advocate for yourself that you don't even belong in. You can get exhausted from that, very much so. But you do not ever get exhausted from making decisions that are going to put you in a better position. There is no exhaustion in that. There's only elevation in that. There's only elevation in that. So it's very easy to get exhausted when we are not on assignment. Very easy. I've done it. I spent a lot of time wasting time doing it. So trust me, I get it. I get it. But no. In the same breath, but no. So let me get into the fact that you are the vessel. Let's get into it, okay? So a lot of women don't realize that you are your vessel itself. You are the value, which is why it tells you in scripture to take care of yourself. Why it tells you to love yourself like you love your neighbor. Meaning you should love yourself it tells you to prioritize your well-being and to prioritize self all throughout scripture. And you really need to come back to that understanding, because a lot of us have gotten to the space where we are so focused on everyone else and everything else except for ourselves. And it's extremely damaging and dangerous. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. And I'm just telling you, like, the energy that you have within you, if you purge that energy by understanding that you are the vessel, okay? And this talks about this in 2 Timothy 2:21. If a man therefore purges himself from these things, he shall be a vessel unto honor, okay, sanctified, and meet the master's use, prepared unto every good work. That means you're going to be prepared for every scenario. Just like I just got through talking to the young lady when she said some of us are tired of making decisions. You're going to always be on part to make decisions when you are constantly purging yourself, when your boundaries right. See, when you manage your time, your energy, and your attention well, and you give it to the things that it belongs to, and you give it to the things that are going to give you return on your investment, you are never going to be exhausted from those experiences. But when you submit to things and support things that don't align with you, prepare to be exhausted. When you're trying to save everybody and not yourself, prepare to be exhausted. Prepare for that. You need to understand that you are a vessel, but if your vessel is filled with fear, instability, or desperation, the work cannot flow through you clean when you like that. Your messaging on your content is not going to be clean. That's why nobody's buying in. Y'all really got to understand that Men lie, women lie, numbers can be crunched, data is skewed, but energetics never lie. You can feel energetics through the computer screen. You can feel it through your phone. These people know when you really are putting something out there, and they really can feel what it is that you're saying. But if you coming on there and you already full of fear, ain't nobody finna buy and do this in this economy. People money funny right now. I mean, I need to lower my prices. I need to pay my bills by tomorrow. You coming from any of that type of energy, you might as well hang it up. And the reason why I'm telling you to hang it up is because you need to go ahead and go back to James 1. James 1 told you how to approach the Most High in prayer. Okay? Go right over there and start reading. If you're going to be fearful, if you're going to be doubtful, if you're going to be scary, don't say nothing and don't expect the Most High. If you have submitted to this assignment of showing up, because entrepreneurship, like my homegirl Jay says, it is a spiritual assignment. If you committed to show up, that means you're showing up with the full confidence that the Most High is going to meet you. Okay? Going to meet you where you are. And you not showing up, or you showing up in fear, or you're showing up in a space from desperation because you got to pay your rent by tomorrow. Ain't nobody buying that. Ain't nobody buying it. Ain't nobody buying nothing of what you are selling, because your energetics are completely off, and people can feel that. People can feel that. The work can't flow through you. The authenticity can't flow through you. The Holy Spirit can't flow through you. Somebody could literally have been praying the night before for your solution, but because you couldn't get your mind and set your mind on things that are above, because you couldn't get yourself together and capture your thoughts, you couldn't articulate the message clearly, and you missed the mark, and somebody else got the sale. Don't get me started. That was on you. That was on you. How dare you step full into this business and believe that the Most High will leave you hanging? Baby, with the vision, provisions come. And this is coming from somebody who know. See, my first business I started on my own. I was a makeup artist. I'm a really great makeup artist. I was a bridal artist, baby. I'm $1,000, $1,500 days kind of girl. Yeah. Couldn't keep no money though. Was broke. Was 100 pounds heavier. Was going balding and sitting on my head. Had a full-time gig, and I was working at Mac too, and I still just couldn't seem to get ahead. See, I was performance-based. I was a hustler, and I prided myself on saying that I was hustling, and people applauded me with the stupidity of, oh, black girl magic. I was crashing behind closed doors. Y'all need to grow up. Stop allowing people to position you for movements that are literally put in position to drain you and to make you sick, so you can be a slave to their stagnant systems. They don't care about you getting better. Sweetheart, get sick if you want to. They're going to pacify them symptoms. They ain't finna give you no solution. They don't give you truth. They don't give you that. You have to seek. That's why I tell you to seek. You understand? It's why it tells you to seek. If you are out here moving in fear and then saying the Most High sent you, it don't make sense. It's an oxymoron. Your business cannot even hold any form of overflow built on an unhealed urgency. And I said what I said. Your business cannot hold overflow or any form of abundance built on unhealed urgency. You creating a business because you need more money instead of creating a business out of making impact. And that's why you're not seeing no income. Meanwhile, my clients catching checks. They catching bags for being themselves. Being themselves. No code switch. Baby, if you see me in the boardroom or you see me on the street eating a turkey leg, this the energy you're going to get. This is me all day. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. I don't shift. I don't alter who I am. The Most High called me because I am me, so people could see that a me could actually rise into a space by simply being obedient. Because if you saw me 20 years ago, because if you saw me if I was 100 pounds ago, shoot, I think I got a picture on here. I'm going to pull it up and show y'all. Because I saw a picture the other day, shocked me. I didn't even know it was me. And it was 10 years ago. Here you go, right here. I didn't even know that was me. Don't look at my iPad up there cracked, y'all. But yeah. That is me 10 years ago. Literally 100-something pounds heavier. Like, for what? Because I had no control over myself. I had no control. Only thing I had control over is what I could eat. Emotional eat. No value of self. Like, just, no. You can't handle overflow while building or being built on unhealed urgency. Sales are not about strategy, y'all. That's why, let me tell y'all something. That's why when y'all come on here asking me what sales strategy is the best. Should I go live? Should I send emails? Should I text people? Should I, write posts? All those things work. You can get money from all of them. You can get money from all of them. I've gotten money from each one of those, right? But here's what's the truth of the matter. Sales is not about strategy. Sales is about spiritual readiness. It's about spiritual readiness. You can't be out here. See, this is the thing. To whom much is given, much is required. See, this is what you know in scripture as well. Spiritual readiness is that you're ready to receive that $15,000 payment, because not only are you going to execute on what it is that you've been given, but you're going to operate from a space of integrity. You understand the responsibility. You understand the intention, and you understand what you are accountable for when you manifested this new client. See, it's that type of energy. You ready to start being paid. You're ready to really be in a position to where people pay you. See, y'all want the money without the integrity, without the responsibility, without the accountability, and y'all gonna mess around and be sitting in the courtroom like old boy sitting up in there right now. Let me tell you something, baby. I don't care how much money you get and how high you think you rise. You will always meet yourself. You will always meet yourself. It is authenticity that gets you in the room. It is your character that keeps you in rooms. And people are missing that. People are missing that. Sales are about spiritual readiness. And you need to be ready. Now let's get into why. Y'all know I love birds, and this is one of my favorite ones that come out my window. So I'm sorry, y'all, but I really, really love them. I have like very interesting experiences with birds, especially when I go and travel as much as I do, and they're always like very, very beautiful experiences. So yeah, I'm trying to get my emotions together. But anyway, okay, so this is what actually makes people buy from you, okay? So here's what actually, and I'm talking about, I ain't talking about people buying no, you got a $10 thing. No, okay? No. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these follows. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how you get people to buy into something you have for $2,500 and up. So if you ain't ready to talk about that kind of money, go ahead and exit stage left. Come on out. This might not be for you. I'm talking to the people who understand the tax breaks start at $385,000. Okay? I'm talking to the people who understand that we're sitting in a window and there's two things that you need to, you either going to position your family for poverty or you're going to position your family for forward progression. It's one or the other. I'm talking to y'all. I ain't talking to nobody else. Okay? So here's what makes high level women invest in whatever it is that you are selling, or high level investor mindset people buy into whatever you're selling. Let's say you have a product or service for $2,500 and you want people to buy into it. Okay. So number one is attraction. That's just the initial, basic thing. She knows who you are. Okay. She's attracted to you. So it starts in that type of space. So that's the first thing. The first thing is attraction. Let me tell you something about attraction. I'm going to give you a secret. Attraction is nothing but science in a mirror. If you could figure out, and I break this down to my clients more in depth, but if you can understand what I'm saying, attraction in all aspects, romantic, platonic, business, attraction is science and it's a mirror. If you don't like what you attracted, clean your mirror. Look in the mirror and clean your mirror. Clean every single angle, because everything that's coming into your life is a reflection of one of those angles. If you want to attract better, understand the science of yourself and understand duality, understand polarity, understand how opposites attract, understand all of those things truly, truly matter. So attraction is the number one thing that's going to bring in someone who wants to spend at least $2,500. And when I say attraction in the sense of this person has been looking for you See, one thing about people who spend that type of money, $2,500, $1,500, not 15, $15,000, you know, all those $50,000, people who spend that type of money, they know what they want. They know who they're looking for, the type of person they're looking for. They know what type of experience and desired outcome that they want. It's almost like a man who's made up his mind he's ready to get married. I'm not even being funny. I'm being so for real when I'm saying this. When men know the type of woman they want, when men know the type of experience or desired outcome that they want, and they have the money for it, and they got the resources, and they meet that person, they're gonna get her right then and there. They're gonna get her right then and there if that is what they are seeking. That is the same thing when it comes down to how high-level women and high-level men invest when it comes down to paying things over $2,500. They look at things as an investment. They don't look at things as if they're spending money. Because if you look at things like you're spending money, you'll never have any money. I'm dead serious. You will never have any money if you're always looking at things like I'm spending money. You always need to be looking at things like I'm investing. And what you need to be asking yourself is this a good investment? Is this investment worth yada, yada, yada? That's what those people are looking for, okay? So number one is starting with attraction. They already looking. They already got the money. You need to know in your mind that your client is ready to pay you top dollar, okay? But the problem is your client hasn't seen you yet, meaning you haven't been exposed to them yet, okay? That's all it is. The only thing that's stopping you, and I want you to hear me when I say this, the only thing that's stopping you from making a $2,500, $5,000, $10,000 sale between you and the client, you and that sale, is closing the gap between you and your client. That's all you have to do. I teach you how to close the gap. That's all you have to do is close the gap. My best friend always says the only distance between a problem and a solution is the plan. I'm telling you, the gap between you and your next $15,000, $20,000 is literally closing the gap between you and your client. Okay, and that one starts with attraction. She needs to know you. The only way she's going to know you is if you are showing up. But you have to be showing up in spaces where she is. Why are you going to the club in the hood looking for the 6-figure 565 in finance? I don't know why. I don't think he's going to be over there. Okay, so that's how you need to be thinking. Where is your ideal client hanging out? Where is your ideal client at? Like, I mean, I'm for real. He might be eating chicken somewhere at some lounge, but I don't think he's gonna be at the one in the hood. 6 Eyes Finance. I don't see it. So again, you have to be in a space where your client can see you. Okay? Period. All right. So the second thing that makes high-level women invest at a really, really high level is belief. She has to trust your leadership. And I'm going to tell you something, especially if you have women buyers. Okay? If you have the majority of your clientele are women, when I say that she has to trust your leadership, it's almost the same thing that it's about to sound so crazy, but I'm serious. It's the same thing that she's looking for when she is looking at men. She's looking for them to be an authority, a leader in their own lives. So what she's looking for you, she's not looking at you in a romantic way like she would a man, but she's looking to you in a way that a young woman would look to an older woman. She's expecting you to have the answers. She's expecting you to be able to guide her on this journey. She's expecting you to be able to know what you're doing. She wants to believe you. Okay? She wants to trust your leadership. So belief is one of those things that's required. And the reason why belief is so important of how it gets high level people to buy products from you, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, is because if you come into a space to where you have shown that you've been able to get this result, then I trust the process that you're going to provide to be able to get me there, especially if you've been able to repeat the process with other people. So belief impacts biology, and biology influences the way that you behave, which is why, and I'm about to tell you, this is why the news and the media and different things put different things out there to shift your belief. I hear a lot of people say that they don't like living in LA. People who just moved to LA, I hear a lot of people say they don't like it, right? And I'm always asking, like, why? And what I hear is that, it makes you depressed because you always feel like, you're not good enough. Every time you're walking out, you're seeing something that's letting you know you're not good enough. You need to get this. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this. You're too fake, too small, right? So it's always these things that are letting you know that you're not good enough. When you consistently, belief impacts biology and biology influences the way you behave. If you wake up every single day and everything is around you is telling you you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that, you're not this, you're not that, you need to do this, you need to do that, it begins to become your primary belief. This is how some people will go, thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes, and they may get like a surgery or something like that done because, and Nicki Minaj talked about this, and I saw an interview where she talked about how the reason why she went and got worked on her behind is because she was listening to how the men were talking about the women in the studio and how people continue to keep talking about it. Those things impact you, which is why it tells you in scripture to guard your gates, because the goal of society is to get you to feel like you're not worthy, you're not good enough, you're nothing, so that you start altering yourself, and you alter yourself to the point to where you don't even know yourself anymore and you get lost. Then you submit to anything, because you'll take anything at that point. You take any form of guidance because you're so lost at that point. That's what they want. That's literally what they want. I'm not even kidding. Right? So you really have to kind of think about how powerful belief is. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. So, oh, that's so cute. So if society is, if you're constantly being faced with that or saying this and saying that, and it can have a negative impact on you. Imagine if you had your messaging was constantly speaking specifically, a message and a belief that was rooted in truth, that was accurate, and you continue to repeat it over and over and over again and over and over and over and over again, and to where it ended up becoming a belief because people started to research for themselves. They started to gain understanding. Belief is very important. A dude on TikTok did this genius video. I was like, that is insane. I grew up during this time and I did not even catch this. He was talking about the thong song. Crazy. Now I love the thong song. I love that whole Cisco album. Do you hear me? Don't even get me started. I'm gonna probably play it when I get done. So that song is nothing but one verse repeated 3 times, right? And he broke that down. He was like, that song is one verse repeated 3 times. Okay, it's repeated and then it's just repeated at a heightened pace. So it's like it's getting higher. First it starts low. Then the next verse again is going a little bit higher. It's like it's getting you hype each time. But it's repetitive. And he said that year, Victoria's Secret sold out on thongs, sold out. Like it just changed so much, that one song. And it was nothing but a repeat 3 times. Nothing but a repeat 3 times. It shifted society. People started buying more of those. It was so much stuff that was literally going on from that. But my point is, again, belief. Look at one song and what it made society literally go crazy and start doing. Everybody was buying up thongs. And it wasn't even, it was a freaking song with one verse. Repeated 3 times. When he said that, it really broke it down. I said, not me, thank you, my love. Oh, this is so cute too. But not me in the car singing this down 3 times and it's the same thing over and over again. Since I was when it came out, I was in high school. I think since I was in high school. So I'm cracking up as a person who teaches subconscious work, right? And a person who is always diving into her own subconscious. That's crazy work. But it's masterful at the same time. Okay? Thinking nothing of it. Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. I ain't thinking nothing of it, just singing. Okay? So if you are out here and you're saying the same message over and over again, and it resonates and it hits, then they begin to trust your leadership. But this also works on the horrible side of things, of how people end up taking horrible advice, health advice from random people online, taking it as truth. Trusting random leadership. So if the random people can be out here scamming and getting money, why are y'all, the ones who operate in full integrity, who really trying to create impact, why y'all scared to say something? Why y'all letting the scammers get the sales? It's not making no sense to me. It's not making no sense to me. She needs to trust your leadership. In order for you to trust your leadership, you have to believe in what it is that you are selling. Scammers win because they really believe what they sell, and they really believe they are who they say they are. Y'all need to go watch that show on Netflix, Anna Delvey. I think it's like Runaway Anna or something like that. Baby, Anna had the children thinking she was rich. Anna had everybody around her spending their money. I'm talking about, it wasn't no little money. It was big money. Hey, yeah, can you just give me, yeah, can you cover? It's like $20,000. I'll just give it to you when I get back. Baby, Anna had, it got down to the point where Anna got arrested. Baby, Anna was trying to come to the court dressed to impress, baby, like she was really rich. Listen, I keep trying to tell you, it's about belief. It's about belief. Y'all are missing it. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. And I'm going to tell you something else. And I'm going to tell you the horrible part about the aspect of this that people don't realize. It's about belief. So again, when you even look at very serious trial cases, okay, I'm going to put you on game. If you've never sat on jury duty, do not allow a person to tell you how boring jury duty is. Do not allow a person to tell you should try to get out of it. You need to understand where you live at. And that's the problem with a lot of people now. You need to do it, and you need to know where you live at, and you need to know how it goes, so you can stop being so emotional, because it grinds my gears how emotional we get about trials because we don't understand the legal system in a country that we live in. That's really insane. When you go to court and you see these cases, it's not about the truth. Hello, anybody. It's not about the truth. It is about what they can make the jury believe or make the jury not believe based on evidence, and that evidence has to match statutes. When you sit on the jury, this is why you need to do this, okay? Bingo, it's about who presents the best story, okay? So when I sat on the jury, it was a crazy case. I ain't even get on into it. But what I can tell you is this. When we got to the back, everything, it ain't no emotions. It ain't no feelings. It's what you wrote on that notepad when they was testifying, okay? It's the evidence that's brought back there, and it's you reading those statutes to say, does this qualify as this? Does this qualify as this? Does this qualify as this? Y'all are too in your feelings, and you're not realizing you need to understand where you live. It's not about what the truth is. It's about what people can prove. When you understand the system, you stop being offended by it. If you want to bypass out of this matrix of a system that seems so unfair, you have to spiritually submit, because this world and the things that are being worked in it is being worked by very dark spiritual knowledge and occult things. And if you are not rooted in the one that created you, you are not going to outsmart a system that was intended to make you a slave, thinking that you're going to bypass all of that. That's not how that works. You have to start seeing things for what they are, and so you can get a better understanding. Because again, it's about belief. Society, most of media, they don't tell you the truth. They tell you what they want you to believe, because they know that belief impacts biology, and biology influences the way you behave, which is why women who think that they're pregnant and they be throwing up and doing all that stuff, and then you take a test and guess what? You're not pregnant, because guess what? You tricked your brain into thinking you were pregnant. Thank you, my love. That's so cute too. I love the little flower heads. Those are so cute. It's about belief. Your brain is that powerful, and you really need to understand that. My judge gave me printed papers with the accusation and told us if the evidence provided proved them. Listen, see, this is the thing. People get so, how could you let this person go? How did they get off? Somebody didn't prove their case, or somebody did prove their case. That's what happened. And when you understand that, you stop getting emotional and you start getting strategic. Now I'm gonna talk to us for a second, okay? I'm talking to us. The time of being emotionalism without strategy is reckless, and it's not going to get us anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? Strategic alignment and emotional intelligence and emotional mastery is going to take you far. You are too tender to touch, and that's a problem. You should not be as easily triggered. You should expect certain things. Remember where you live at. Remember where you live at. You should expect certain things. You should see certain things even coming. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. These things shouldn't offend you, and they shouldn't allow you to Give someone your power by giving emotional reactions. This is why it tells you in scripture to guard your thoughts. Okay? Because you aren't to be out here believing any and everything. Because it's dangerous to believe certain things. Laws were created for certain people due to lies and certain people believing things. Okay? Misaligned beliefs is deadly. Know this. You understand? Deadly. And if you want to know how deadly it is, let's even take it back and go to Rosewood. When somebody believes something, or want to believe something, or let that be the story of something, it gets deadly. So this is why it's very important for you to understand the power of belief. So when you are speaking to your ideal client, yes it is, it's going on YouTube. When you are speaking to your ideal client, okay, they have to believe you if they're going to buy in. And let me tell you something, we live in a society, they always lying to us. We live in a society that's always lying to us. Expect people not to trust you. Expect people not to trust you. Okay? But you come in and you operate from a space of integrity. And if you are operating from a space of integrity, then guess what? She will trust your leadership and she will invest at a high level. The third thing that you're going to need, or what makes high level women and men actually invest and buy in to whatever it is that you're selling, is security. She needs to feel safe investing in your field, which means you need not be a liability. And a lot of you get online and in real life are liabilities because you lack the ability to control your emotional responses. You clapping back, you arguing, you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot and wondering why you are getting a little. If she is not buying, one of these pillars is leaking. Either she's not attracted to you. See, this is another thing. Y'all stop getting mad at your family and your friends who don't support your business. When you understand the formula that I'm teaching you, attraction, belief, and security, let me tell you something. If nobody's buying from you, either one of those pillars are leaking. She's either not attracted, she don't believe you, she don't feel safe investing. It ain't because she ain't got no money. It ain't because she ain't got no money. When somebody say I don't have money, the for that is silent. When somebody say I don't have money, the for you is silent. Because guess what? We got money for what we want and what we want to invest in. Hey, love, your client doesn't need to be convinced anymore to buy your products. That's why all you posting on it, that ain't making her buy. She needs to be convicted. She needs to feel your conviction behind what you're saying. She don't feel that. And that's why she's not buying. Okay? And this is why your business feels stagnant. Now you know what makes them buy. Attraction, belief, and security. You know, if they ain't buying, it's one of them. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. So let's talk about why business feels stagnant. It's not because of the economy. Let's stop lying. Let's stop the lies. People closing $80,000 contracts. I'm telling you, like, there's a lot of money out here. Okay? This is why your business may feel stagnant at this point in time. Let's just go ahead and make this plain. Stagnant energy. You're still launching from a place of survival mode. You're still launching from a place of, I got to get money to pay my bills. That's your mindset. Not the mindset that my bills are already, the provision is already written in the business. The provision is already written in everything in the vision. Not that mindset, but the mindset is, I got to pay my bills. So then you start going into hustle mode. That's your first issue. Launching in survival mode. The second issue is you got these spiritual ceilings. You've outgrown the strategy that you continue to cling to. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of y'all are trying to run from AI when you need to learn how to use AI to take you out of the business, to give you more time, energy, and attention to focus on what really matters in life, which is the things that can leave here, your family, your people you love, the experiences, the memories, see, the peace, the freedom. It gives you time to really invest more into that. But because you keep holding on to this is the way you have to do business because this is the way that you made your first, you better evolve from that. You are putting a ceiling, you're putting a cap on your ability to literally raise up. And that's really crazy. That's really crazy. And because you won't raise up, people won't pay you. Why are you afraid to charge $10,000, but then you afraid to charge $50,000 when you took that as a salary? You charged it anyway. What? Don't make me mad. Don't piss me off. Hey, my love. Thank you so much. Hey, mother. Like, what do you... What do you mean? Okay. I just want to understand. You will take a $50,000, $60,000 salary spread out over time. It is not even a full $60K. It ain't even a full. And they're gonna tax it. But you scared to put a $50,000 off out there, okay. You're scared to put a $50,000 off out there, but you willingly take $38,000 after taxes. You signed up for that. You put your name on documents committing that you would be a slave to that. That thank you, my love, for these. That's what you did. But you're scared to put on paper that I believe that the value of what I'm providing is $50,000 is a great investment. I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. These spiritual ceilings. You all right? Here's a third thing that of why your business probably feels really stagnant right now. You're selling the struggle. It's enough of that going around. Okay? Why are you selling the struggle? Why are you selling the, like, why? Thank you, my love, for this. This is too cute. Why? Why are we doing that? Your words are soaked in fatigue, not frequency. I know we are all struggling. Is that so? And that's why you're struggling to get money in your business. That's why. That's why you're struggling in your business. Right there. Your message is well structured, potent, and encouraging me to start sharing the real. Go ahead. All praises to the Most High. Selling the struggle, selling to people who can't invest in you, talking to them. When you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, people who are struggling to feed themselves, people who are struggling to trying to get to their next dollar, they're not worrying about, they don't see the value in your $2,500 product because they can't see past, they don't know how to get the money like they don't know how to get the money for themselves in general. Their basic needs are not taken care of. So they're not going to value enlightenment over eating. They haven't figured out how to get money consistently. That's low level frequency. That's low level frequency. So talking to them does not make any sense. Why do you keep talking to them, baby? You're talking to the struggle. You heard me, like, what's going on? Why are we talking to them? They don't have it. And those are the ones that are going to haggle you about saying how you need to discount your prices and how you need to offer something for free if you really was trying to help people. You really was trying to help people. Why are you talking to them? They don't value a $2,500 product. And that's okay. Talk to the people who value that. Because they don't value that. They can't. They haven't figured out they can't. So your words are soaked in fatigue, not in frequency. And that's a problem. See, when you start speaking high level and coming up, they're going to fall off anyway. But you scared to come up. And you ain't even getting nothing down here. So why are you scared of coming up? Come on now. Here's the fourth issue of why business feels stagnant for you right now. Hey, lovey. Energetic instability. People feel your presence, not your power. I told y'all. Excuse me. Men lie, women lie. Numbers can be crunched. Data can be skewed, but energetics does not lie. People can tell. And they know and they can see you. They see how you show up. Just because they don't say nothing don't mean that they don't see you. I think that's the thing. Like, y'all are so many women are so worried about, being in a space where they feel like showing up a certain kind of way. Thank you, my love. Trying not to be seen, but you expose yourself. You are exposing yourself and how energetically unstable you are. You're not speaking confidently. How much is your product? I mean, I know it might be expensive. Expensive for who? It's not expensive for your client. You already talking down. Already. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. You already talking down. I know it's expensive. It's about $2,500. But if that's too much, we can figure out energetic instability. Energetic instability. Get out my face. Soon as if I'm talking to you and that's what you telling me, I'm not finna give you no money. I don't trust you. You don't seem certain about you. So how can you support me? It's not possible. Goodbye. For real. The people feel your presence, not your power. I'm trying to tell you something. The fifth reason why your business feels stagnant is because you lack a legacy of aligned community. Y'all trying to take the cheap way out. Y'all want to complain about how your friends don't support your business when in reality, when you got into business, you really were supposed to invest in community that's going to keep you accountable. Because let me tell you something. You being around your friends talking about how hard business is, don't piss me off. You lack legacy aligned community. You are not being held to your true wealth standard. You not being held to it. You ain't. See, you can go with your friends and celebrate the fact that you just got a $5,000 a month and they feel like, oh, girl, that's good. Girl, that's not good. You know your real goal was 20. See, your real goal was 20, but you was playing around and parlaying and doing this and doing that. So you ain't really hit the 20. You hit the 5, so you talk about the 5, so they give you a little dopamine hit and be like, girl, yeah, that's so good. No, it's not. You in the red, niece. You in the red. See, 5 is comfortable for you. See, 5 got a little easy. You ain't made a little 5. 20 feel a little different. Hey, love. 20 a little different. 20, you got to come up. See, it's a difference energetically when you are making $5,000 a month versus you making $20,000 a month. Thank you, my love. It's a difference energetically. You have to come up. See, a woman that's making 20K months, she got better boundaries than the one with 5K months. The one with 20K months, she got more community. I didn't start making 5-figure months until I got into community with women who were making 5-figure months. I was making 4-figure months and couldn't crack it. Couldn't crack it. Tried. Couldn't crack it. I got you. I'm going to answer you in just a second. Hold your questions for me because I'm almost done. Couldn't crack it. Y'all think that y'all can... The problem is... How can I say this? I was having this conversation the other day about convenience. And how convenience has done a number on individuality. And how individuality has distanced a lot of people from community and understanding collective agendas, right? A lot of people have gotten into this, I'm gonna do it myself, I'm gonna YouTube it, I'm a DIY, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But if you knew how to do it, you'd already be there. And you being cheap by not investing in legacy aligned community is holding you back, because it's those connections that probably could put you in rooms to make you more money, but you too scared. That costs too much money. I'm not gonna do that. I don't care what you do. Go off. Stress yourself into oblivion. Stress yourself into illness if that's what you want to do. Your life, not mine. Hey, I've done that life. I don't want to do it again. I'm good. I'm Gucci. I'm all right. See, once you come out, you don't want to go back. But you do what you want to do. But you know, as a business owner, if you tell the truth right now, you know you're not being held to your true wealth standard. You know you're not. You know it and I know it. You're not being held to the standard. People are clapping at the fact that you got a business, but you ain't telling them the fact that you really ain't got no money. You ain't really telling them that you out here hustling, trying to get your bills. You don't want to tell them that. You don't want to tell them that. Because for you to leave one path of monetization of life in the form of a 9-to-5 that was not in alignment with you, to come into business to still be not in alignment with the monetization path for your life is crazy. So you chose to go from a worker bee working for somebody else to be a hustler and a worker bee supposedly working for yourself. Y'all done glorified the title of entrepreneurship and not having no money. That's why people don't take entrepreneurs serious. When people say, I'm an entrepreneur, they just be looking at you like, are you one of the ones with money? Or the ones that be scamming? That's how heavy, like, people did the title. Like, seriously. You don't have community. So those are 5 things. Like, your business feeling stagnant energy, you're launching in survival mode, you got them spiritual ceilings, you're selling the struggle to people who, baby, don't even get me started. You energetic instability and lack of legacy aligned community. That's why things are not converting for you. Not because your offer isn't good, but because it's not secure. And it's not secure because you're not secure. Boom. And guess what? Security comes from your beliefs. And out of your beliefs comes security or insecurity, which is why belief impacts biology. Biology influences the way you behave. Everything is rooted back to what you believe about yourself. That's why I get in that subconscious mind. That's why I help you see the repetitive patterns within your own subconscious mind. Because you don't see yourself for real. Because you think narcissists just, you don't know why you keep attracting them. You don't know why people just keep treating you like this. You don't know why. I can show you why. Oh, I can show you why. Because attraction is a mirror in science. That's it. Attraction is science and it is a mirror. And it tells on us whether we realize it or not. Okay? So everything that we talked about today, right? We cover all of this in the feminine sales session that I have, okay? So let's talk about what you get in this 60-minute session. So I am in the process. I want to change 25 women's lives. If you know me, you know the one-on-ones with me are $9.97 originally. I am offering 25 spots for $150. Some of those spots are gone. Whenever the things start working, it's not going to work. But they are $150. You can get a recliner firm at Afterpay. Let me tell you what we're going to be going through in these sessions so you can see if this session is for you. Okay? The first thing that you need to understand is you're going to get a feminine design sales archetype quiz. It is an AI analysis quiz. It's going to give you a precise diagnostic, okay? It's a precise diagnostic quiz that reveals the energetic pattern that's been running your business, that's been blocking your income, that's been blocking your visibility, and that's been blocking your power. That's the first thing you got to do. That's your pre-homework. I need you to see yourself before you see me. Okay? I need you to see yourself before you see me. All right? And then once we get in a session with me, we're going to go deep. Because what you're going to see in that profile is the elevated version of yourself if you make different decisions, and the shadow side of how you operating right now in business and how it's bringing you down. And on that call with me, you're going to make a decision. Which life you want. I'm going to support you in making it, but you're going to make a decision on which life that you want, okay? So we're going to go deep in that session. Your shadow pattern, we're going to deal with that, and we're going to bring you back to clarity, and we're going to do it in a space where there is no shame, but you feel free at the end, okay? We're going to name the version of yourself that you've been showing up as, that's been creating and selling and showing up, and then we're going to bridge the gap between her and who you need to be, who you truly are. Because attraction, again, is science, and it's a mirror, okay? You're also going to have, during this session, something called an energetic recalibration and an identity shift. I'm going to guide you specifically into the embodiment of your next energetic season so that you can receive, okay? So that your presence, your content, and your pricing all feels very congruent in this season. Y'all, $385,000 is the minimum to get these tax breaks. Remember that. Keep that in your mind. So remember that before you start talking about some, oh, I'm going to do this price point. I can afford to do $150 sessions because of the type of business I run. If you can't afford to do that, don't do that. I know why I'm doing this as well. I want 25 testimonials. I want 25 women's life change. My track record is what it is. Okay? So I want some new blood. I want some new ones already. All right? So I'm going to position you to be in a space where business feels clean. You are simply commanding. And then the last thing, that you're going to get is that you're going to have a customized monetization prompt. So you'll leave with one clear cash flow move, messaging shift, and offer, okay, that's going to align with your authentic identity. Let me tell you something about why people struggle with imposter syndrome. Because y'all are selling things that don't align with you. You are using tactics and strategies that are not of who you are, and that's why it's not translating, and that's why you're not cashing in. I support you in getting rid of that. You have to understand, authenticity attracts. Attraction is a science. I'm a nerd. I really, 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 really like science. So I'm a nerd. So I'm not even telling you this just on the woo-woo. I'm telling you this from scripture. I'm telling you this from science, and I'm telling you this from a psychological perspective. Okay? These things are extremely, extremely vital. So, like I said, we're going to identify where you're leaking. We're going to clear out this desperation. Oh, I need to plug this thing up, y'all. My phone gonna die. Hold on. Okay, there we go. I don't know how I'm going to have to hold this. Yeah, I'm going to have to hold it so my phone can charge so it won't die. But anywho, but like I said, we're going to be identifying the leaks, clearing out any form of desperation when it comes down to your energy around money and receiving. And we're going to activate the structure necessary so that you can start making the type of money so your client goes from interested to invested. Because a lot of people are going to be interested. A lot of people are going to be coming in, oh, da, da, da. You want the ones who are actually wanting to invest and actually spend their money, okay? So if you want that session, DM me the word session. It's a special link. It's not in my bio. The link is, if you DM me session, let me be real clear. If you're on YouTube, you can click the link in my description box. If you DM me the word session, it is my assumption that you are prepared to pay, because that's what I'm going to send you is the link. Don't DM me session if you are not prepared to come in and really ready to do this work. I want 25 women's life changes. My first session is tonight. These women been snatching these sessions up. I got women from all over. I got a client I just booked who's working with me from Australia. She did Monetize Like a Muse, the upgrade version for $497, where she's getting the 2 weeks coaching, and she's all the way in Australia. My clients are all over. They're global. So I'm telling you, the community thing matters. Because just imagine being in community with somebody in Dubai who says, you know what, I love what you're doing. I think there's an opening for you to be able to come over here and be able to talk to these people and do this. Let me see what the budget is. But no, y'all want to stay in them small rooms. Y'all want to have conversations about what's going on over here when ain't nothing really going on over here. Or the truth of what's going on over here, they ain't really telling y'all. Okay? You want to focus on that when you can be making money in other countries. So DM me the word, shoot it to me in a DM, my love. DM me the word session. And when I get off here, I'm going to send you the direct link to be able to pay. What you're going to get, as soon as you send me that, as soon as you pay, you're going to get an email with that diagnostic. Take that test today, baby. You're going to take that test. And once you take that test, it's going to give you a link to book your session. And then you book your session, and I'm going to see you. And we're going to get you right. Because I'm excited about these 25 women's lives. Y'all, I'm so excited about, I'm for real. I'm so excited. Creating impact is my favorite thing to do. I'm going to always be paid because the Most High is my boss. So the Most High going to always supply all my needs according to his rich glory. You better know that. And if you end up being a vessel that he used, okay, cool. If you don't, but I'm still going to get this check. Because obedience is key. But I'm telling you, I'm so excited about being able to really, really support women in this space, because there's a window right now. There's a window right now, okay? And I need you to get in there. Is this specific for established business or someone currently starting a business? If you're starting your business, you either have to have a business or actively starting one. One or the other. You either had to have one or actively starting one. Okay? And when I say actively starting one, that means that you're in the process of like getting everything together and we need that. Okay? So shoot me the word session. Some of y'all had questions. Okay, drop your questions. I'm going to go ahead and answer y'all questions. And then I got to go eat y'all because I got to me and my protein go. Because Lord, I feel like I didn't eat all of the day. So drop your questions in the comments for me. I saw some earlier, but I can't remember. That's why I say y'all hold them to me to the end, Jesus. So drop your questions for me. DM me the word session so I can shoot you the link so you can schedule your sessions. They're called the Feminine Design Sales sessions. Like I said, you're going to figure out what your feminine design sales archetype is. Your feminine design sales archetype is nothing but your unique way of selling. Okay, and why that's really important is because that impacts your messaging. I had a client who she had a nurturing profile, and her nurturing profile basically was letting her know that she needed to speak more to her clients in this type of language because this is what they were seeking. She started talking to them, started clearing 5-figure months. She didn't even want to get on TikTok. I was like, please get on TikTok. You're doing God's work. You do X, Y, Z. She was like, I don't even want to get on there. Got on there, making 5 figures a month. Text me on her birthday. She had just hit 6 figures while she was in Jamaica. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, guys. Drop your questions in the comments. If there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and check these DMs because I do see them coming in. I'm going to check these DMs so I can shoot you guys this link. She says, I don't know what that says or what that means. But what questions do you guys have before I get off here? You have 3 of my questions? Yes. Which one do you have? Working through them now. Oh, all praises. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to email me. Especially if you have questions about the courses and stuff that y'all got. Please email me. Any other questions or comments before I go? Is it in my bio? It's in my bio. You should be able to send it there. Either send it there or you can DM me. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm not seeing any other questions. I'm gonna go. Hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing day. I hope you now understand why people may be invested in your products and services, but why they don't buy. Because money is being made. How do you deal with people stalking you? That's so funny that you asked that. I trust the Most High. That's one of my qualms about working online, to be honest with you, because I'm a very private person, so I don't really like being online a whole lot, honestly. So I trust the Most High, and I am very careful. And like I said, I don't speak anything that I am not comfortable speaking, and I'm also very careful about who I connect with, and I'm not everywhere. So, and then the biggest thing about it all is that I know the Most High is protecting me from the unseen. So I'm not really worried about that. Not too much, but cause yeah, to play me means or try to play with me is to play yourself. It says don't touch the Most High's anointing, and I literally let the Most High handle my lightweight. Sometimes people just come deliver to my doorstep. I don't even. So I don't worry myself with that, if that makes sense. People watch you in a grocery store whether you realize it or not. You know, we never know who's watching what. I just always ask for protection. And that's all I got. So, yeah. Because people gonna people, honey. They gonna do what they want to do. And child ain't finna wear me, though. At all. At all. And I'm not the one you want to run up on anyway. I'll say that. I'll say that, too. People who know me and know the people that's coming behind me, you ain't just gonna run up on me. I'll say that too. That ain't quite gonna be what it is. So the reason a person wouldn't be getting sales is because they aren't aligned enough with their ideal self and their client. Energetically, energetic alignment is a positioning that has to be checked. Positioning has to be checked in general. Internal alignment position needs to be checked, and external positioning needs to be checked, because it could be that you're talking to people, right, and talking to clients, but you may be in the wrong atmosphere. Like, your client may not necessarily be a TikTok client, maybe an Instagram client, maybe a Snapchat client, maybe a Pinterest client, maybe a client that's in email, maybe it's a Substack client. So alignment is positioning is very, very much key. Internal positioning, being sure of self. Like for myself, going live on TikTok is good for me. Okay? It's good for me. But it may not necessarily be good for everyone. I have one really good friend that's like, girl, I can't stand it. But she makes some money from posts and different things like that. So it's just kind of like what literally is in alignment with you. do offer accountability community. Yes, I do. In the form of the Muse Activator. That is a 6-week program. That's $9.97. So yes, you can get that with client offer and afterpay as well. No social, yeah. You may not have no client, no social media client. It just kind of depends on like what works best for you. Okay. If you're interested in the Muse Activator, you send me the word activate. Now, the only thing about that is if you send me activate, I'm assuming you want the program. So if you're not ready to pay for the program, you want more to know more about it, then shoot me your email. Okay. And I can email you a link so you can read more on it and then pay if you desire and all that great stuff. But the best way to be able to work with me currently is that one-on-one session. Okay. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and get off here and let me check in with the ladies that DM me because I see a couple of them came through. I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing day. Yes, this is going to be on YouTube. Click the link in my bio to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay. Send your friends. Who's serious? Don't send me no clowns now. Okay. All right, y'all. I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing day. I'm tired. Let me go. All right. Bye, y'all.